Sadie is a wife to husband Christian, who's here with us. They have been a delight to have and considers calling that one of her greatest jobs in life, being a wife and a mother to two daughters, Honey and Haven. Mount Olive Trojans, let's give Sadie Robertson Huff a warm welcome to the podium this morning.
Good morning, everyone. Y'all have an incredible president here, and Miss Phyllis, it has just been an honor to get to know you guys. We have enjoyed our time here so much. We fit right in because we like pickles and we like hunting, and apparently that's what you needed to do here. Actually, my husband went turkey hunting this morning, and so he's having the time of his life. We might be spending more time up here, but it's been truly an honor. To the graduates, I'm so honored to get to stand here in this moment with y'all and congratulate you guys. I also just want to say it's been really cool for our family because our family put out a movie this year called The Blind. And we started seeing these videos go around. It was kind of getting out there, going viral. It was on news outlets and everything that these college students were getting baptized after seeing the movie. And that happened right here at Mount Olive. And so if you're in the room who got baptized, I'm so grateful that that movie touched your life and that my grandpa's story spoke to you in that way. So praise God for that and what God's doing on this campus. I'm just so excited to get to be here. So first of all, again, to the graduates, congratulations. This is a huge deal. This is no small thing. You should feel extremely proud of yourself. Today is the end of a season, but it is just the beginning of what your life will become. From this point forward, you will get to make some big decisions that shape the life that you want to live. The next step is here. You are stepping into decisions like where you will move, what job you will have, will you get married, who will you marry, will you have kids, how many kids will you have? Some of you are just stepping into that next phase. You already have kids, have a family, but a new job and a new season. There are some exciting days ahead. There are a lot of big moves and a lot of big decisions. And to some of you, that feels like a really big step and you're ready for the giant leap. But realistically, there are others in here who feel a little hesitant towards that. Your tone might not be like, there are big moves and big decisions. You might be like, oh my gosh, there are some big moves and some big decisions. If you've ever seen a video of someone skydiving, you see people run, jump out of a plane, and begin to fly. If you've ever seen a video of me skydiving, that is not what you see. You see a girl scoot her way to the edge and then form about 5 chins as I try to make my way back into the plane before getting pushed over the edge, and it looks a whole lot more like falling than flying. I get it. The next step is a big one. Some of you might genuinely be ready to fly, and some of you might genuinely be scared to fall. And listen, this is a very valid fear. Every time we go to an ice cream shop, my husband gets a little overwhelmed by which flavor ice cream to choose. I mean, come on, there's a lot of choices, a lot of flavors, a lot of toppings, a lot of colors, and you gotta choose the best of all of those to make just one ice cream cone. You might say, why do you get so overwhelmed by that? Well, some valid reasons too, because he wants the ice cream to be good. And because what if he messes this up and his ice cream last time was better? Or worse, what if my ice cream is better? There are some valid concerns when choosing ice cream. However, it's just ice cream. And here I am saying you're about to make huge decisions for your life. However, the fears may be a little bit similar. What if you mess it up by choosing the wrong thing? What if you don't like the new season that you go in as opposed to the last? Or worse, what if everyone else's looks better than yours? The truth is, up until this point of your life, for many of you at least, in a lot of ways, your next step was a little bit decided for you. You know, your parents put you in school at a young age, and then year after year, come August or September, you would start the next school year. You would enter the next grade alongside of your friends who were the same age as you. After you graduated high school, this would be some of the first big moment decisions that you would make. Would you go to college and where you would go to college? And to some of you, that might have been a little decided for you as well. We got some awesome parents in the house. So the question might have been where to go to college. But that might have been a little decided for you as well based off where you got accepted, what scholarship you got, what you could afford, where your family felt good about going. My point is, up until this point for many of you, you pretty much have been escorted into your next step by friends, family, cultural norms, and government-established school year. But now each of you is about to take a next step that odds are does not look identical to anyone else in this room, which is a good thing, because if you haven't noticed, you don't look like anyone else in this room. You are an original. You are hand knit by God. There is not one copy among you. You have a unique purpose, and you're going to live that on purpose. And that is a beautiful thing. It is an incredible thing. It is an encouraging thing, but that's also an extremely intimidating thing, because it's a lot easier to just copy someone else. It's a lot harder to step out in faith and do what you were called to do. This can cause for some big questions to arise, like perhaps school didn't teach you. Like, am I making the right decision? What am I really going to do with my life? Yes, I have a major, but what is my purpose? Let me ease your mind when it comes to these big questions. I know you're done with homework, but I'm going to give you one more task, and it's to go watch Louis Giglio's sermon, Passion, Purpose, and Designer Jeans. It's one of the best sermons of all time, and he preaches on the verse, whatever you do, do it as if you work for God and not for man. You see, that word, whatever, is going to be the word that helps you with that big question, what if I make the wrong decision? You won't. You can't. It's whatever you do. See, the secret to the ice cream analogy is this. Ice cream is ice cream. It's all good. You already did the hard thing by showing up to the ice cream shop. That was the hard move. Now you get to enjoy the uniqueness of the flavors that you put together. You showed up to college. You put in the hours. You chose the classes. You chose your major. It has always been unique from the start. It was different from everyone else's since the time you got here. You just might not have known it. And it's a good thing that it's different, because it's all that makes you you and all that makes you do what you're going to do. You may say this seems too simple, but this is the same thing that Jesus did whenever he called Peter. And he said, do you want to fish for men? I will teach you how to fish for men. He basically said, you like to fish. Now let me show you how to fish on purpose. You see, you will not mess it up if you go out of here and you do whatever you're going to do on purpose. You see, I think the reason why we get so freaked out by these big questions like purpose is that we jump too far ahead. We think to answer the question of what I'm going to do in my life, we have to have our whole life figured out. We have to know the job we want to do, have the dream job, land the dream job, know the person we're going to marry the person, do the whole thing, have it all figured out with all the details. But the truth is, you just might not be there yet, and that's okay. Having those things in order is not what gives you purpose or is going to fulfill your purpose. Because you could have all of those things and still feel lost if today you don't establish your why for whatever you're going to do. You know what I believe my purpose is? I believe my purpose is to love God and to love people, and to be a sister and a friend to those who don't have one. And you might think that that seems a little bit too practical. And here's the thing, I'm a practical person, but I also love to be prepared for things too. So I get it, this is a big deal. I'm not trying to dumb it down, but I'm trying to call you to the why. You see, whenever I'm speaking somewhere, I love to be prepared. I like to have everything I'm gonna say ready, hence my laminated paper and binder today. I like to know exactly what I'm gonna say so that I prepare well for the situation. But let me tell you, before I had kids, it was a lot easier to be prepared for things. Now with a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old, it is hard to be prepared for everything. And so I was speaking at a college, Texas A&M last year, and I thought I was prepared, but I was not prepared. So I get there and I don't have any notes, and I'm just preaching, and oftentimes whenever I'm preaching I don't have notes. I just kind of speak a little bit more from the heart, but I still know what I'm gonna say. Well, midway through my analogy, I completely forget what I'm saying. Mom brain, just whoop, gone. And I'm just sitting there in an arena at Texas A&M thinking, what was I saying, first of all? What am I about to say? And I just kind of take a moment and offer up a silent prayer of, God, what am I supposed to say right now? And it was amazing, because what I said next was really the perfect thing that I could have said, because that was the thing that stuck with the students the most, and the thing that really changed the tone of the whole thing, because it was the most genuine thing on my heart. I just asked them, is the life that you're living right now leading you to where you want to go? I could only attribute asking that question from offering up that prayer, God, what do you want me to say in this room? It led down a whole new path of conversation, and it was such a strong message, but I couldn't have really prepared for that. After that moment, the pastor's wife took me aside, the campus pastor, and she said, that was such a powerful moment when you just paused and you leaned in, and that question was so thought-provoking for the students. And then she proceeds to send me something in the mail, and what she sent me was a tiny little oil lamp, like the ones that they would have referenced to in the Bible, like from the verse, your word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. I've heard this verse, my whole life. I've said this verse my whole life, but it wasn't until I saw the oil lamp that something changed for me, because the oil lamp was tiny. You see, you think about your word is a lamp unto my feet, a light unto my path. This light's going to be big. It's lighting up the path. But the oil lamp doesn't light up the path. It really just lights up the next step on the path. And what the pastor's wife encouraged me with was this: you're not always going to see the end of the path. You're probably not really ever most of the time going to see the end of the path. But God will light up the next step. Trust him with the next step. You see, you won't see the path, but you will see the next step. I prepare a lot differently now, other than when I'm speaking at a college graduation. I more so prepare my heart than my words, because when I prepare my heart, I'm ready for the moment. When I prepared my words last week, the words might not be right for the moment of today. You see, there is something in all of us that wants to be as prepared as we can, and that is a beautiful thing. That is a gift, because preparation brings confidence. And I want to speak this over you, and I want you to hear me and believe me when I say you are prepared. You are prepared for your next step. You are holding a diploma. You put in the hard work. You did what you need to do to be confident to take the next step in life. But now you're going to have to let faith and let God lead you along the way. The only thing that will really get you confident to take the next step is the willingness to put one foot in front of the other as you go. And let me be honest, it might feel like falling and not flying at first. But falling teaches you how to walk, and walking teaches you how to run. The truth is, your whole life prepares you for the season you will walk into. Let me put it like this. The thought of labor scares everyone, right? The thought of labor scares men more than women. The thought of labor is a terrifying thought. But you know who is the least scared of the thought of labor? A 40-week pregnant woman. And I can speak from experience. A 41-week pregnant woman is even less scared of labor. There is nothing you want more when you're 41 weeks pregnant to go into labor. So why? Why would the person closest to labor be the least scared of it? Because she is the most prepared for it. Because 9 months of pregnancy got her prepared to take the next step. And then the new mom who is up all night is surprised she can even function on so little sleep until she thinks back to the fact that she didn't sleep at all her whole third trimester because she couldn't sleep anyways. And all of a sudden you realize that trimester after trimester prepared you to be the mom that you're going to be. And it only continues. The patience you learn in the newborn stage helps you get through the toddler stage, and so on and so forth. You know what scares me right now? The thought of 2 middle school girls in my house. You know what scares me more is the thought of 2 girls in my house going to college. That's so scary to me. But of course it is, because I have a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old. My point is, you just can't skip too far ahead. You are ready for right now. You are prepared for right now. 4 years of school prepared you for right now. For some of you who are 22, college didn't prepare you to be 50. It prepared you to be 22 and be right where you're at and take the next step. In Matthew 5, Jesus says this: don't be anxious about tomorrow, for tomorrow will be anxious for itself. Sufficient for the day is its own trouble. In Genesis, we read of Abraham bringing up his son Isaac on the mountain because God called him to do that. Now, that was an extremely intimidating step that he had to take. But when he got up to the mountain, the Lord sent a ram in place of his son, and that's where we get the term where we hear him say, Jehovah Jireh, my God is a provider. You see, sometimes you have to show up to the place on the mountain to see God be the provider that he will be. We want to know everything that we're stepping into, but faith is the confidence in the things that we hope for and the assurance of the things that we cannot see. We know that we can't see it all, but we have to have faith in God who can. I know this school knows more than anyone that you cannot predict tomorrow. I understand that there's been some great tragedies that y'all have gone through, and I just want to read the Psalms over you. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You see, we have a God that even when you walk through the valley, because this verse doesn't say, even if you walk through the valley, even though I walk through the valley, I'm going through it, I will fear no evil, for your rod and your staff, they comfort me. God is a God who will provide. He will be Jehovah Jireh, but he is also a God who guides you like a good shepherd. He is a good father. Proverbs 3:5-6 says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him and he will make your path straight. You will not mess it up. He will make your path straight. I will finish with this. In Ecclesiastes 11, it says this. This is the Message version of it. When the clouds are full of water, it rains. When the wind blows down a tree, there it lies. Don't sit watching the wind. Do your own work. Don't stare at the clouds. Get on with your life. Just as you'll never understand the mystery of life forming in a pregnant woman, so you'll never understand the mystery at work in all that God does. But go to work in the morning and stick to it until evening without watching the clock. You never know from moment to moment how your work will turn out in the end. You see, there are some things in life that are obvious, and there are other things in life that require faith. But rest in God and know that he writes the best stories. When I was a senior in high school and about to graduate, I did not know what was around the corner for me. It was one of the last days of school, and it was award ceremony day, and all the seniors were supposed to wear the shirt of the college that they were about to attend. Well, I did not plan to go to college, and I wasn't sure what I was going to do, but I had just written the book called Live Original. And so I got my first Live Original shirt made, and I thought, well, I'll just wear my LO shirt because that's what I'm doing. I didn't know all that God would do with LO. This was before it was a thing to people. It was just a book from a girl who was on a TV show called Dynasty. And I actually got made fun of that day. A girl literally looked at me and said, Live Original? That's embarrassing, with her college of choice shirt on. I really questioned what God was going to do with my life from that point forward. I can be honest and tell you I did not win any awards that day, didn't have any special tassels or anything that day, and I was confused on what my next step would look like, but I just kept working hard and saying yes to where I felt God was leading. One thing always led to the next thing. Live Original has now touched the lives of millions. I've been able to go on 3 LO tours around the nation, host my 4th LO Sister Conference in my hometown. We have an LO Sister app, LO Sister Worship. We write blogs, a podcast through the ministry, and have had the opportunity to step in places I never thought I would. I would be lying if I also included that did not come with a lot of falls and a lot of failures, if you will. Some things have been successful and others have not. But in every step, I've learned along the way. And here I am, the girl who did not have a college sweatshirt to wear on senior day, now speaking at a college graduation. See what I told you? God writes the best stories, and you really could not guess the ending even if you tried. So stay faithful with where you're at and with what you have. I don't know what tomorrow brings, but because I know who the God of tomorrow is, I am ready to take my next step. So cheers to all of you, and cheers to your next step.